got my attention.
Yes. That says stand up.
Welcome to the August 22nd meeting of the Kiwanis Club of Kingsport.
And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to introduce today's guest speaker, Dr. Ozlem Kilic, who is Vice Provost and the founding Dean of the College of Emerging and Collaborative Studies at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. Before coming to UT, Dr. Kilic served in a variety of academic leadership roles, including as Director of the Engineering Center for Care of the Earth, Associate Dean of Engineering, and she oversaw both electrical engineering and computer science as the Associate Dean of Engineering at the Catholic University of America. She has also worked as an electronics engineer at the U.S. Army Research Laboratory and as a program manager at Lockheed Martin Global Telecommunications. She has a diverse and impressive array of academic pursuits. Dr. Kilic earned a BS degree in electrical engineering, and she completed her doctoral degree in electrophysics and was complemented by advanced studies in educational leadership and innovation at the George Washington University. Throughout her impressive career, she has displayed a keen dedication to building disciplines and creating inclusive learning environments. Her path has taken her through renowned institutions where she not only excelled as a scholar, but also as a mentor, and to her, a very important aspect of her work as an advocate for student engagement. Her journey in higher education has been marked by a commitment to expanding opportunities for learners from all different kinds of backgrounds, and she continually has sought to build programs that encourage creative thinking and real-world problem solving. Before joining the UT Provost office, she served as the Associate Dean of Academic and Student Affairs at UT's Tickle College of Engineering. Additionally, she has led multiple initiatives that are designed to enhance student recruitment and retention, including administrative operations across all UT colleges for the launch of the impressive intercollegiate data science minor. It was that work, ladies and gentlemen, that led to discussions on how to improve intercollegiate education on the UT campus, and that led to the launch of UT's College of Emerging and Collaborative Studies. Her wild and long, impressive responsibilities include strategic planning, faculty development, and resource management in support of collaborative research, teaching, and outreach. Likewise, she also builds partnerships across departments, colleges, and external organizations. And ladies and gentlemen, she oversees academic innovation in initiatives such as artificial intelligence. I should note that the College of Emerging and Collaborative Studies is a first-of-the-kind college. It's revolutionizing higher education, period. It's an exciting place where students explore their interests, customize their degree path, and enhance their knowledge in emerging areas. And they gain valuable, in-depth skills to prepare them for the careers of the future. We're delighted to have our founding Dean, Kilic, as our guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome her.
I am so
so humbled, and I don't know who that person she introduced, but thank you so much for this thoughtful introduction. So welcome to my world in UT, which has been a. Okay, is this better? Okay. Welcome to my little world in UT. I will take you through the amazing things that UT is enabling us to do. It's been a wonderful journey. Marilee mentioned a bit about my journey. I've been here for over 5 years now, and I'm not looking back. I moved from BC, and it's been one of the best decisions in my life. So hopefully you'll get as excited as what's happening at UT and in the world after my talk, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. So I wear a double role in UT because of the innovative nature of the college, which is to work with all colleges to do things. So there's the vice provost hat for that, to make sure all the deans get together and make decisions together. Why KEX? Why now? KEX, Culture of Emerging and Collaborative Studies, is really driven by emerging tech, such as AI, that we are very familiar with, whether we like it or not. It's coming in news in all directions every day. But what's happening is these emerging technologies are actually bringing disciplines together because they touch every discipline. And we are finding that there's a collusion of these disciplines and ideas where new things are emerging, new topics, new disciplines, new applications are emerging that weren't possible before, because these are at the intersection of conventional disciplines that are really pulled together by this emerging technology. So the future of work will be continuous change. I think we're going to have to come to terms with that. And it doesn't have to be scary. This acceleration will go faster and faster because the technology is enabling each other. They are feeding on each other, and more things are happening faster and faster. So the reason why KEX launch is just that. We are having students come into college, and in 4 years, we don't know what kind of jobs will be out there. So we cannot continue doing things the way we did, so we can prepare, especially as a land grant institution, students for the state's economic development, right? So we need to be mindful about this rapid pace, and those who may be in academia may be very familiar that in academia, we tend to be very cautious, very careful. We want to analyze, we want to form task forces to analyze what we analyze. So things take years, and we cannot afford that anymore. So we needed a model, and that's why UT leadership was bold enough to say, let's do this. And here we are 2 years after that. So a little bit about me and KEX, and Marilee did a great job, so I won't talk as much about myself, but it is really UT's bold response to what a modern land grant institution should look like. The concept that we need to serve all Tennesseans and prepare for the workforce and enhance the economic development of the state means a lot different now with all this emerging technology. We can't be slow and cautious anymore. And the fact that conventional disciplines need to come together, work together, also makes us think how we do education as well. So the college is driven by careers of the future and also learners of today, because what's also happening with these emerging technologies, in a way, it's a great thing. Information is being democratized, right? At our fingertips, in our cell phones, at our laptops, computers, is information available anywhere and everywhere. So we need to be mindful. Also, what's happening is, since things are coming at a fast pace, people who are already employed in the workforce need to get new skills quickly. So it's not just our conventional 18-year-olds who need to get these skills. And also our conventional 18-year-olds are working, they have dependents, so the demographics of the learners are also changing. So we also need to be mindful of that and realize that the conventional semester base, somebody will come for 4 years full-time, may be a luxury for more than half of our population. So we need to be also mindful of the changing demographics of the learners. So KEX was launched in response to all of these to serve the entire UT system, UT Knoxville. So what is happening with AI? I know emerging technology the first thing that comes to all of our minds is AI, and we are either fearful of the doomsday or we are very excited of what might happen. I tend to be on the excited side, so bear with me. But I want to be on the excited side with a realistic understanding of the dangers. But so what is happening with AI? I want to start with humor. So I told you about cakes and how a unique college it is. It brings all the people from different backgrounds together to launch these degree programs. So in my college, I have a designer, theater major, an English major, a computer scientist. So I told them, I'm getting these exciting invitations to present. So can you prepare me a video that will show what our college is all about while showcasing that we are all about technology and AI? And make me look good so I don't have to really think about it every time I go to a presentation. And here is what they came up with. I wasn't sure what would work, so let me.
Hi, I'm Ozlem Kilic, and I'm the founding dean of the College of Emerging and Collaborative Studies, also known as CECS, or as I like to call it, the place that other universities get jealous of. We don't just prepare students for the future. We design the future, give it a funky haircut, and teach it how to dance across disciplines. Our students are building AI apps, rethinking education, crafting their own degree paths, and yes, one of them tried to teach a robot how to play jazz, still working on the groove. And now I'm here, powered by AI, possibly caffeine, ready to talk about how we're changing higher ed with curiosity, collaboration, and just a dash of weirdness. If I had to sum us up, CECs is like if innovation and creativity had a baby, and that baby coded its own major. Let's go and do this.
So this is my team. This is the team I'm dealing with. Too much creative juices running along in their veins. But you know, this is deep fake, what you can do with AI. They grabbed my picture from the internet and came up with this. It's a very poor tool of AI. There are so many better versions of it that we'll share. But I shared this with my daughter and said, Erin, look what my team did. So should I show this in the next presentation? She goes, oh, absolutely right. But you do sound weird without your accent. Oh, that's the daughter I'm dealing with. So anyway, so what is really happening with AI? So it is in the news every day, right? We cannot avoid it. There's something happening in the news every day. So yes, it is changing everything. How fast, how far is the question Cakes is trying to answer so we can prepare our students for what's to come. So what do we mean by AI? Actually, what we are trying to do with the technology is enabling machines to perform what humans can as best as we can, and that's artificial intelligence. So here's a brain, there are inputs, there are outputs. We want to simulate that with a neural network that will give the same outputs. For instance, if I were to put the image of a cat here, output would say cat. I will look at a cat picture and say cat. And I want the same to be done by the machine. I'll feed a picture and it should say cat after enough training. So neural networks are being trained to process information and give out output similar to what human beings are doing. So that is what AI. And we have been actually using AI for a long time. Actually, AI existed decades. I know there are many engineers here. It existed for decades. What has happened recently is actually it is enabled to come into our lives because of other technologies that converged. So now it's at our fingertips. Otherwise, the theory was already decades old. But we have been doing AI with our series, with our Amazon's, I forget the gadget, but you can talk to that and they can give you timers or turn your TV on. Translators, I regret that I was in Italy for 3 months and never learned it because Google Translate was in my fingertips. So that's the cost of having convenience, but it makes life very easy. Predictive models, weather prediction, if enough data is available, the systems are more accurate. Pattern recognition, like I mentioned, picking up a cat from an image of complex scenery. So we've been doing that for a while. But what's happening is, since it's now accessible, we are experiencing explosive growth. So 65% of organizations have adopted at least one AI capability. It's already increased 50% since it originally launched. So, and it is about all industries. It used to be about tech industries. It used to be about people who are doing work with chips on Silicon Valley. Now it's everywhere, from healthcare, education, manufacturing. So it has come into our lives in everywhere. And its deployment is accelerating productivity and creating rightful concerns about workforce displacement. And that's why we are concerned too. We want to make sure there is enough upskilling, reskilling for everyone so that they can embrace these tools and be productive in their workspaces. So OpenAI models are now operating with over 1 trillion parameters, reflecting a 10 times increase. How is that possible? It's possible because of the hardware we've been able to create and establish. An investment, 50 billion. So this is here to stay. There's a lot going on, and there will be a lot of job changes, displacement, replacement, also new jobs coming in due to that. However, when something with full force comes like that, and starts very quickly invading our work playground, workspace, private homes, we need to be careful because it's also fueling debates about IP, misinformation, and how we regulate. And regulation is notoriously slow-paced, and especially compared to the speed of this industry. So we need to be mindful as this technology grows, right? So it's very important for it to be trained well to produce reliable results, answers. So it thrives on data, it consumes data. And the energy it takes to train these systems are actually enormous. So we are all using these tools and technologies now, but we need to be mindful about the impact on the earth, on our resources, because it is costing a lot more energy than certainly when a human does the same task, 100 times maybe more energy for some of the tasks. And it's also going to drive specialized hardware because we are hungry for speed. The more real time it is, the more usage it will get. The reason 2 years ago in November when ChatGPT launched, we were all alarmed was because now our phones, cell phones have more power than 10 years ago's desktops, right? So that was the enabling technology. Now I can do things on the go in real time due to hardware. So the chip technology will become a very important industry that enables a real-time, on-the-go applications of this technology. But we need to be also very mindful, as I mentioned, of the environmental impact. And we will need more energy-efficient algorithms and hardware to be able to do that well. So, but we are all taken aback by what happened with AI. But I want to take us a bit back and see, maybe, is this familiar? Any thoughts? Do you think this has happened before? So this has happened before. It's just happening a lot faster and more impactful, which will be the trend going forward. We had telephone, radio, technology for communicating and connecting people has always been a core of human society. It took us to get to the PC, maybe 100 years from the phone, but the web took only 20 years. So you see, this is the acceleration I'm talking about. This slope, it's this slope that's going to get steeper and steeper. What does it mean? More and more powerful tools and platforms will come in shorter and shorter time. I constantly think about what that means for future jobs and students or learners. I would like to call learners who need to make a living, hopefully in a rewarding, satisfactory way. So this has happened before. if you remember the internet revolution, I do recall I had just come to George Washington University. It was in the basement of the computer lab, and I was chatting with my friends across US. We had all come for graduate school, and it was the first time it has lunch, and it was amazing. And now my daughter looks at it and says, "You are old." But yeah, it started in the 60s. Internet, we didn't know much because it was more military, and that's typically where the technology starts, and we don't yet know about it. And then worldwide adoption happened in the 90s. It started being available to technology-oriented people, graduate students, those who were in the frontiers of understanding. But then it exploded, especially when we had mobile phones with internet. Right now, there's not a day we don't spend using internet. So, and then imagine what will happen with an AI-enabled phone, how the next level internet will be like. So we saw this evolution before with internet. So the technology does this to us over and over. And we're just going to witness more and more of it in our lifetimes. That's what's changing. So AI progress was similar in the 80s. Basic pattern recognition. This is a red ball versus blue ball. This is a cube. What's happening? And main user, again, DoD, right? Then researchers started adopting it because large data sets started being available. AI is only useful if it's trained well on data. And now, anybody has smartwatches or phones? Yeah, this thing collects data on me all the time, wakes me up like 2 a.m. to say, you didn't get enough sleep. So we have so much data available to us, and then it's only going to enable these large systems to do more and more for us. So 90s, it was the research group, Silicon Valley types utilizing that. What happened next is in the 2010s, the chips became capable. GPUs, graphic processing units, were originally designed to enable gaming. And they rendered themselves very well to doing things in parallel fast. And once they came in, AI started taking off because if you can do things fast, then you're going to have people using it, right? So that's what happened. And now, presently, we are in the training mode. We have the data. We are feeding these, consuming enormous amounts of energy. And there's a new version of ChatGPT, Grok, coming every month because it's getting smarter and smarter. So that's where we are. Now, all of us, hopefully, are using AI. May I ask a show of hands? Anybody using AI, ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini? Wonderful. We have to use it. It's a technology available to us. I'll talk about the risks and problems with it, but my objective is good people should use it. If we don't, then others will, and that will be a problem. So that's really where I'm coming from with you too. Every single student should use and understand it. If good people don't, they're going to be left behind. So, but AI is not the only one. I also want to alert us to the fact that what is going to drive the future, AI will be the most visible one, but computation has been all along what's driving the technology recently. Quantum computing, you'll hear, it seems to be coming. People have concerns that whether it will be as ubiquitous as our cell phones, but it will be a game changer with the kind of speeds of computations we can do if we can enable that. I always want our students to be worried or aware of cybersecurity, with AI being so invasive in everything we do. We will need to be very mindful and literate at least on cybersecurity and privacy. So it's going to be an important field. And applications of this with sustainability will be very important because this is not sustainable the way it's going. Luckily, as a state, we are in a really good position with the nuclear energy and lots of water available to us, which puts us actually at a great advantage as a state. But I wanted us to touch point that, yes, AI is a big deal, but there are other big deals we need to be mindful of as this wheel keeps turning. So what has happened over and over is that typically technology starts often in DoD, but it takes off when enough technologies have converged. And that is what is happening as we witness things. Breakthrough in one area, let's say engineering or computer science, touches a domain in material science where we may develop a material that didn't exist before, which may enable medicine to evolve all of a sudden and fix some of the problems. So it is feeding on each other with exponential growth. And there is a need for diverse systems to connect and learn from each other to enable that growth. So there is tremendous potential at the intersection of conventional disciplines that don't necessarily really understand each other's language oftentimes. So our objective is to enable that kind of conversation at UT. So to expose our students that, and our faculty from all disciplines start thinking together and come up with silly videos of me and other creative things, what other potential applications may arise for future careers. So what are the potentials of AI technology? It is limitless. Some of the things I could think of is, yes, intersection of Internet of Things. That means things are talking to each other in our homes, not just people anymore. Our refrigerator is talking to our toaster, who is talking to our security system. So it's all connected. And that amount of data could be utilized for health, right? Our home, I expect intelligent homes not too far from the moment we get up from the bed to the moment we leave the door. It will have collected enough data on us to maybe tell us your blood sugar is low, you should have taken that slice of bread you left on the table, right? So I think that's coming. I really believe that's not too far off with the technology available. Also, a lot of good things can happen for people who are who have mobility challenges, who have diseases, with being able to actually develop materials that could help people who cannot walk. Okay, biomedical engineering, neuroscience, and Elon Musk. You may have heard about the Neuralink. He's already making a lot of progress there. There's an amazing potential for paralyzed people to have an opportunity to walk again. And that's really very uplifting. We can get drugs faster because we can combine different combinations and try different interactions with each other a lot quickly. And we can have miracle drugs being produced at a faster and faster rate. And certainly robotics for surgery is another thing where we may not have access to the best surgeon because we live far away in a rural community, but I think there will be opportunities for democratized access to good healthcare with this technology, if done right. So, and those are some of the things I could think of, but there's tremendous other opportunities. I see it being used with social work, psychology. When used right, there's tremendous potential for us to be impacted in a positive way. But there are risks. It is a tool that's evolving. The scary thing is that it's kind of a black box now, especially if we don't know the kind of data that was used to train it. That's why the open source is very important. My worry is that there are systems out there where we don't know how it was trained, and it's so complex that the systems engineers don't know how it's coming up with the output at this point. If we don't know what came in as data, it will be very hard to trust such systems. So we need to be aware of any tool that's presented to us, which data was used before we even try and trust its output. So it's going to be very important but it's a tool that's going to automate things. If something is something follows very specific rules, it's a very highly potential that it could be automated and replaced by AI. And when I say that, I'm thinking of my own field. Engineering is often very well defined, right? So I'm not saying all engineering will be replaced, but one needs to think, how do I educate engineers, right? Because if something with specific rules can be automated, I'm thinking right away circuit design, it's very specific rules. Will AI be able to design circuits quicker than people? Probably. What does it mean? How do I educate electrical engineers now, right? So we should start asking these questions with an open mind that it's a tool that we could benefit from. But it's job loss will come along with more jobs that will be produced. You think of internet evolution, right? The kind of new jobs we had that we never had before. So it will be that kind of a scenario. We will need to be very mindful about the bias. If the data is biased, the output will be too. So we need to be very mindful of that. And 24, almost a quarter of the initiatives used by companies, there's such a rush to get in the game that they kind of overlook the security, which could create the doomsday scenarios we hear in the sci-fi movies, not knowing what your system is doing, who is accessing it while you are enabling such a powerful tool. So those are some of the things with AI that we're going to need to be mindful of. But the biggest risk, in my mind, is the user. That's why I would like to see good people learning and using it. So I'll give you a few examples you may have heard on the news. So far, 120 court cases have been caught with AI hallucinations. It sometimes makes things up. It's designed to keep us happy. It's designed to say, did you like, when it asks you, was this helpful? It wants to hear yes. So to make you happy, sometimes it tends to, like a little child, make up things. And if you don't check, which apparently a lot of lawyers didn't, they go into courtroom arguing fake cases because AI told them there was a case in year so and so in this court, and it's making things up. So there were a lot of lawyers in hot seat as a result of this. So user is the risk in my mind because we need to understand that it will not always give you the right answer. So a good prompt would be back your answer up with references that you can give me so you can check. So that's one example. Sadly, ChatGPT convinced Jacob Irwin, a 30-year-old man on the spectrum with some history of mental health, that actually he could bend time. And he believed that, but confirmed that actually it did it on purpose to make him happy. And he has been hospitalized because of this encouragement that it receives from this smart machine that confirmed that actually he's right. So it's quite scary what the power it could have on people, especially vulnerable people. Chris Smith used ChatGPT to program and proposed to his AI girlfriend. So I'm curious where this lands, but a lot is happening. We are confused. We are all maybe trying to meet some of the needs we cannot meet with other human beings, but it's going to be a very interesting world. So that's why interdisciplinarity is very important because, okay, how do we do with this technology? I need social scientists to come into conversation. I need philosophers to come into conversation as we develop these systems. So users can be the biggest risk as we launch with this technology. So it is really up to us. What we do with it, how we handle it, we have a say in this. We are not helpless. We just need to be in it, not on the sidelines watching it. So that is what KEX is trying to do. We want to be in it. We want to bring all UT students in it. We want to graduate them with the right skill sets. So when I'm in retirement age, I can rest assured that it will be all in good hands. So that's what KEX is about. And I want to tell you a bit more about my favorite topic, which is the College of Emerging and Collaborative Studies. So as I mentioned, this emerging technology is colliding all the disciplines, affecting technology, policy, social, economics, business, and future of work is changing. So students need to develop skills rapidly. And they need to have flexibility as they do that, because no longer the 4-year degree in one field may meet their needs when they graduate. So jobs will change by the time they have graduated. They are not typical to begin with when they come in. This is a different group. They want to know, and I believe rightfully, that what are my credit hours doing for me? I want to have a gainful employment and a rewarding career. Are all the classes I'm taking, which by the way costs a lot, right? Even as a land grant institution, it costs a lot. It has to pay off. And I'll give you a personal example from my daughter who loves psychology. So she studied and graduated with a degree in psychology. She loves the field, but she graduated with a debt. She would have, we pitched in, thank goodness we could, but equal to that of an engineer when they graduated. But what happens, engineers find jobs. Do the psychology majors get jobs? I don't think so. Sadly, I don't think so. And we knew, we went in eyes open. She loves the field, so she needs to do graduate school. But it is a sad reality that she worked as hard in college as an engineer did. She loved her field, but it's not a fair playground for all degrees. So we need to be very careful and say, you're going into a field of your passion. We want to make sure you'll be employable. So students should go with their eyes open what they're getting into. So as the job market changes and information gets cheaper and cheaper, we need to make sure college serves their future needs. So what does KEX do to address that? So the first one is a conventional degree. As an electrical engineer, I did that. The gray boxes, you have to take these to get your degree. The greens are like, yeah, you have electives. Choose from communication or electromagnetics. Now you have a broad experience. That was the limit. That was the choices I could have. Certain engineering domains. That's a conventional degree, and it worked very well for me. I'm proud to be an electrical engineer. It has given me the flexibility to try many different things in my life. But it's not enough for all students coming in right now. So what does KEX do for someone who wants to be an electrical engineer or a biomedical engineer or an English major? It says, okay, take your degree, but enhance it with things that will align for the future jobs. And by the way, you don't need to have a prerequisite to learn about emerging tech. That's one of the things we want to emphasize. Anyone can do that. So all UT students can come, get your degree. My daughter could have gotten her psychology degree with a certificate on AI, and things may have looked different for her in the job market. But then there is the ultimate optimization on the right-hand side. If you recall, we are the weirdos on campus, as my video said. So we want the misfits to come directly to KEX, because those are the ones that says, none of this fits. I know I want to work in policy to make sure AI is done well. So this student right now can do engineering and then law, but they don't care about differential equations, do they? Right? And yet they're gonna, those differential equations will be all in the gray, right? So if a student knows exactly that's what they want, that's their passion, they can come to KEX and customize their entire degree and have a fast path towards that dream career of theirs. The other hand is, I don't know what I want, everything excites me. So it is okay to come and try, and that's another message we want to convey. We need to try, it's okay. World is changing so fast, no longer, I don't know what will happen to my career. How can I expect an 18-year-old to know what will happen? So they can customize their entire degree. They will have opportunities to get exposure, literacy, all the way to a customized degree programs. So we are all about radical collaboration. We work with all departments and we work with industry as we shape our curriculum. And here are the set of programs we launched in the last 2 years. I won't read them all, but it's all about what's emerging, what the future market is all about, because that's what our industry partners say so. And these are the courses where you don't need any prerequisite. You can come in and learn about AI, data, future digital technologies, game design, cybersecurity, and my favorite, KEX 101, design your career, design your degree. You learn about design skills, and your project at the end of the semester is your career. I'm sure it will change, but it's a good start. And what we want is these certificates that they can stack either on top of their conventional degree or on their customized degree. And I tell my team, our name is emerging. So don't just rest because we launched all these degrees in record time, because it's still emerging. So we are working hard on sport analytics, applied AI master's degree, medical sciences. That's a degree I'm really excited about, because if you know you want to be a doctor and you need to understand technology, it will be a phenomenal degree where we work with the Graduate School of Medicine for a direct pathway to medical school. So I will show one of these, just my teams again. Imagination of
CECS and AI, I'd invent the light bulb and get a warning before I shock myself. Now that's bright.
So this one, just to show you that there are so much better tools than the one originally to make Edison talk as a potential KEX alumni. So, just want to brag a bit. It was such a relief. This was our first year where students could directly apply to KEX. It's brand new, so brand new. And the enrollment numbers are uplifting. Showing that the students have been wanting this, and now there's a place for them to go. So major growth in enrollment. And what I'm really happy to see is enrollment is from all across campus, because that was the model. So education students, communication students, arts and sciences students are in the same classroom with nursing, business, engineering, talking about AI, data science, cyber. It is what we wanted to achieve, so it's wonderful to see. I wanted to pause here, and hopefully you can take your cameras and scan this. We need literacy across the state. So what we're gonna strive with KEX is to open this to public. And we just launched our first AI module, but more and more will come. It will be at this website. We started with Gateway to AI. But soon will come data science, digital technologies, cybersecurity, gamecraft, and so forth. So if you go to the website, I tried to make it free, it's $10, and I couldn't eliminate that, but hopefully it's okay. So you will find more and more information as we launch this. Our objective is make it accessible to all Tennesseans. And then this is non-credit, but if there is enough of those taken, it could lead to enough credits to take a credit for a course or even one of the certificates I mentioned. So we want to open pathways for all public to follow. And we are also doing the same with industry partners, going and educating their workforce on these emerging technologies. So really excited about that. We want all Tennesseans to check it out and give us feedback if you mind, because we just launched 2 weeks ago. So any feedback you could give if you try, I would very much appreciate it. So I want to end with yet another video. I asked my team, you know, it's not funny. My accent was even missing. What are you guys thinking? And that's what they said.
Really nice meeting you all. Thank you all for coming and see you soon at KICS.
Wrong accent, but we're getting there. So thank you so much for your attention. I appreciate it, and I'm very happy to take